Celtic fiddler Natalie MacMaster grew up surrounded by musicians on the Canadian island of Cape Breton. The holiday music and traditions of her Nova Scotia childhood come to Penn State in her Christmas in Cape Breton concert. PreViews writer Jennifer Pensick speaks with the fiddler about what audiences can expect from the concert, which features MacMaster's band and her 16-year-old singer-dancer niece. MacMaster also discusses her new book about Cape Breton.
What can people expect from the concert?
Well, we have a lot packed into the show. First of all, I've got a great band. I've got MacMaster on piano. I've got J.D. Belair on drums, Nathaniel Smith on cello, John Chesson on bass, and I have my niece by marriage for a very special, rare performance. She's only 16. She's never been on tour with us before. And so she's joining the Christmas tour, and she's an amazing singer and dancer, and her name is Emily Flack.
Great.
Yeah, I'm just excited. It's a very upbeat Cape Breton show in that music, the traditions of Cape Breton. The music will be Cape Breton music, but we offer a bit of a contemporary edge to some of our tunes, and other tunes are very beautiful and deep and more thought-provoking, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, it's a light, happy, joyful music. There's some dancing in the show. There's some Christmas carols, of course, and some Christmas melodies played on the fiddle, and some traditions. I just share with the audience some traditions of our own in Cape Breton during Christmas time.
With Cape Breton fiddling, how does that, differ from other styles, and how does it kind of relate to the old style, more Scottish fiddling?
Well, the Scottish fiddling in Scotland today is a newer breed of Scottish fiddling, whereas the fiddle music in Cape Breton today is apparently an older form of Scottish music. So specifically having to compare, I would, to generalize, overall generality would be that the Scottish music has taken on a little bit of more of the classical sound.
Mm-hmm.
That's the music in Scotland, and the Cape Breton music is still a bit more unrefined, a little more wild.
In October, just talking about Cape Breton, you released your book, Cape Breton Air, which I know features kind of your musical story of Cape Breton, and it features, photos of the island itself, its landscape, its people. Why did you decide to write the book?
Well, it was not something it was not a thought that ever crossed my mind. 5 years ago, a fan said to me, "You know what, your upbringing is fascinating. It's not the normal, it's very unique. Cape Breton is such a stunning place. It's very interesting to outsiders who didn't grow up like that, and I know a photographer. He's just a beautiful photographer, does stunning work, and I think you guys would make a great pair to do a book together." And so it went from there, and the next step was seeing the photographer's work and thinking about the idea. And he came to Cape Breton, and he shot some photos of Cape Breton, and I thought they were really beautiful. And it was upon seeing his photos that I thought, this would be a great project to be involved with. So I took it on, and we ended up going through different scenarios for publishing and stuff. And in the end, when it was all said and done, and after being courted by many great offers and companies, we decided to do it ourselves because we would keep all the control, and I could make the book what it should be, which is natural Cape Breton.
What is it, I guess, for you, and I know it's obviously where you're from, but what is it about Cape Breton that really pulls at your heartstrings or makes you want to keep promoting it and, educating people about it?
Well, first of all, it's not so much a thought as it is me. I don't think about it. I just am. I just have it in me. Not something that I look at as a novelty and think, oh, isn't that great, isn't that great? It's more like, this is what I am, this is where I come from, this is so much a part of my fiber that it just is inevitable that it spills out when I'm talking or playing or doing anything. And it's not an intentional thought to promote Cape Breton. It just happens. It just goes with me where I am, and it comes out. The book wasn't intended to promote Cape Breton at all. It's just real, and it's just my life.
You started playing the fiddle at 9 and recorded your first album at 16. What do you think about starting your career so young?
Well, I did start my career young, although I didn't start playing the fiddle really young. I mean, 9 and a half. I always asked my mom and dad, why did you wait that long? But back then, there was no thought of small fiddles. Like now you see the kids starting at age 3, and there's tiny fiddles, and well, that just wasn't a thought. I don't know if people just, mom and dad just weren't aware of that. They thought, well, we have to wait till she fits into a fiddle. It was actually a 3/4 size fiddle that was given to me that made me start playing. Prior to that, we only had full-size fiddles in the house. So that's how I started. As far as the career, that, again, happened very naturally. I just played, I played, and then people started asking me to play at concerts, and so I did, and one thing led to another, and I remember hearing, when I was 16, I remember hearing another 16-year-old on the radio who had just made a recording.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first time I thought about it, and I thought, well, gee, if he can do that, I can do that too.
That's right.
And so that was the motivation. I thought, there's someone else young making a recording. I think I'd like to try that. And I'm so pleased with that record, that cassette tape. Like, I listen to it now, and it still really pleases me because it represents a time, and it was done well, and it was just, I did the whole thing in a day and mixed and mixed. It was mixed and, recorded and mixed in the one day.
Wow.
And that's kind of unheard of this day and age, just because we have so many more options. No, and plus, too, you get fussier. I mean, I couldn't do that now. Yeah, it was just a lovely little project back then, and I don't think there was any record that meant as much to me as that one did.
Tickets are on sale for Natalie MacMaster's Christmas in Cape Breton, December 2nd, 2010, at Eisenhower Auditorium. Order online at www.cpa.psu.edu or by phone at 1-800-ARTS-TIX.